Hello and welcome to part 2 of our epic journey with Qatar Airways. Today we'll fly from Doha to Zurich on this beautiful Boeing 787-9 Dreamliner. Come check out the newest business class suites Qatar has to offer. Originally, our itinerary from Bangkok to Zurich via Doha was entirely booked in first class. However, Qatar changed the aircraft from a 777 leased from Cathay Pacific, which has 6 first-class seats, to the 787-9, which only has business class. If you're wondering if I got any compensation for the downgrade, stick around until the end of the video. We paid 112,500 avios and 197 euros per person. Our journey begins where the first part ended, the Al Safwa First Class Lounge in Doha. If you want to know how our 9-hour overnight layover went, check out my Qatar First Class video. I'll link it below the like button. We took the airport train to reach our gate, which had bus boarding. Economy passengers were called upon first, as the separate business class bus, which was less crowded and offered more comfortable seating, was last in the queue. We passed the A380 that had brought us to Doha from Bangkok, got up close with an A350, and finally arrived at our Dreamliner. Being the -9 variant means it's equipped with the newest business class seat Qatar offers, the so-called Business Suite, a total of 8 rows in a 1-to-1 configuration, enabling every guest direct aisle access and a generous amount of privacy due to the closing doors. Unlike the Q suites, all seats are forward-facing at a slight angle towards the nearest window. This is my home for the next 6 hours. Seat 2 Echo. I haven't flown Q suites yet, this will happen in 2024, so this seat's first look is mighty impressive. Having settled in, let's take a closer look. From my perspective, we can easily spot the crisp HD IFE screen and notice that I can't see anyone else, even with the doors open. Privacy for the win. To my left, starting from the bottom, there are the seat controls below the armrest. Above that is a generous amount of counter space that already displays the hygiene and amenity kit. Next to the kit is the Panasonic IFE remote, a universal plug with a USB-A port and the headphone jack. Above that is the finicky wireless charging pad and reading lamp, followed by the closed storage compartment and the sweet mood light. Not bad for one side of the seat. Time for a quick champagne break, Gosé Rosé to be exact, and complemented by a packaged cold towel. Continuing the seat tour, the tray table deploys from under the screen like this. The rotating aspect does allow you to squeeze out of your suite while the table is extended. The mighty armrests can be lowered for more space, especially in bed mode. There is a 3-point seatbelt, which is quite obviously not so easy to undo with one hand. Qatar provides 2 types of pillows and a very plush blanket. I tried to store my backpack in the area where I kept the bedding, but it was a tight fit, and I opted to place it in the overhead bins instead. If you have a small bag, it will fit, but nothing too substantial. If you're enjoying the video so far, please give it a like and subscribe to my channel. It's absolutely free and really helps me out. Thanks. The mood light is dimmable. The cubby housed the noise-canceling headphones and a water bottle. There's a light inside, and the back of the door has a small vanity mirror. While being a really neat and up-to-date idea, the wireless charging pad could have worked better. The charging of my phone worked best with it upside down. However, wireless charging is very slow, and it hinders you from using your device. Charging via cable is the way to go. The door to my left opens and closes easily, immersing yourself in your little cocoon. The door to my right required some teamwork, as the partition can only be controlled if both buttons are pressed simultaneously. This keeps the nosy strangers next to you at bay if you're stuck in a middle seat without a companion. And this is definitely a well thought out feature, as the divider goes down really far and makes traveling with a spouse very enjoyable as you're close to each other. Since I had no windows, I witnessed the takeoff through the onboard cameras. I chose an iced cappuccino as my first beverage, accompanied by some nuts and a proper hot towel. Qatar Airways is famous for its dine-on-demand service in business class. Here is a glimpse at the impressive menu. Feel free to pause. The table was set beautifully and service began with an amuse-bouche. I chose the burrata tomato carpaccio, a delicious light starter, and continued with the kofta and lamb chop. The meat was cooked well and the aubergine also tasted very good. I did not care much for the bread cubes, which were supposedly focaccia. My wife went for the fish and was very pleased with her dish. And later on, I chose the berries with rose syrup, an excellent meal as a whole. The two available restrooms are located behind the business class cabin. Before you reach them, you pass the small bar area, where the crew had laid out a few snacks. The bathroom is spacious, with 2 mirrors, some amenities, and even a window with a great engine view. Even though no pajamas were offered, there is a fold-out seat to get changed if you bring your own. After returning to my seat, I decided to check out the entertainment. As usual, I connected my AirPods Max via the AirFly Pro. The screen on the remote can display the in-flight map while you watch a movie or a TV show. It might take a while to settle on something as the selection is vast. The touchscreen is responsive, but the scrolling could be smoother. Nevertheless, the multitude of shows and movies is truly impressive. 1 hour of Wi-Fi use is free of charge, and the rest of the flight is a very competitive $10, and the speeds were not bad at all. Time to check out bed mode. This seat turns into a generous fully flat bed. The lowered armrest increases the area for your shoulders, and notice that the lowered partition is on the same level as the bed, creating the option for a semi-double bed. The footwell is adequate for my 6'1", 1.80 m tall self. Luckily, I have relatively small feet. The blanket is double-sided, and this bed is the most comfortable one I've been lucky enough to try in business class. Since I prefer to sleep on my side, the configuration with the increased space for my arm is very welcomed. Before I summarize, here is why I didn't receive any compensation for the downgrade from first to business class on this second leg. It has to do with Qatar's price structure when booking a ticket with multiple flights. As a reminder, I originally booked both legs in first class and was charged 112,500 avios. Had I booked this itinerary in business class, it would have been 75,000 avios. If you book first class for leg 1 and business for leg 2, then you'll also be charged the 112,500 avios. This means, in this case, the cabin you book on the first leg determines the amount of avios you have to pay. If we had been downgraded on the first leg, we probably would have been entitled to compensation. But you never really know when it comes to Qatar. While it was disappointing to lose out on a very limited first class experience, I did know about it far in advance, which cushioned the blow immensely. And I would say we lucked out by getting the 787-9 instead, which is equipped with these fantastic suites. I have no major complaints about this flight. It was an excellent experience and I can't wait to try out Q Suites next year when we fly home from Bali. In the meantime, check out the first class experience we had on the A380 by clicking on this video. It shows the largest bathroom you've ever seen on a plane and the Al Safa first class lounge. Thank you so much for watching, happy travels, and see you soon.